After getting a glimpse into the process of commissioned artist Benjamin Schonis, I am now here to talk with jury member tenor Howard Haskin, whose reputation precedes him by a mile, with a plethora of opera rolls under his belt and song recitals across the globe. He is returning to serve as a panelist after participating in the 28th edition of the International Vocal Competition. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Howard. It's wonderful to have you.
My pleasure.
Tell me, you won first prize at the 28th edition of this competition. Can you draw on your experience waiting backstage, waiting to go on stage, and does that influence you at all when you're judging the participants?
I do remember, but I have to tell you that before I had come to do the competition, I had already sung on stage in quite a few different places. In fact, in doing my studies in America, I went to Indiana University, where I was actually singing on stage quite often, because we had at the time a system where they did 6 grand operas there every year, plus complete with orchestra and all. And all of that to say that by the time I'd come to do the competition, basically I was just simply going out to do another performance. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't a question of being nervous or upset or what have you. Plus, I had already won a competition in Paris beforehand. So it was just business as usual.
It was business as usual.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And you're known for your versatility, your language, your mastery of languages, and I'm wondering if versatility is something that you're looking for in the participants.
Yes, one of the things that I did also before coming here was I was in Zurich, and I was part of the opera studio and then part of the opera company, which meant that we had to do language, we had to have the language of the opera that we were singing in, because you would change from French to German to Italian at the drop of a hat. And that was great experience for me, because it made me learn all of these various languages, not just simply have a slight idea, but I had to actually speak them and sing them. So what I'm looking for when these kids come out today is that they have enough of a mastery of the language, not necessarily so that I just simply understand the words, but I understand the idea behind the words. That's what makes life more interesting.
Important difference.
Yeah.
Important difference.
The thing for a lot of performers in general is they don't like to concentrate on communicating. It's one of the hazards of today's world with all of its technology, is that we're very good at being able to get in touch with each other, but we rarely actually communicate with each other, actually speak to each other, talk to each other, love each other. It's a tiny little thing, but it makes a big difference.
Very interesting. So as someone with obviously both extensive opera experience and song recital, is there something about Lied, the International Vocal Competition LiedDuo we're here for today? Is there something specific about Lied that is maybe that you maybe miss in opera, or that is special about it that you think you want to hold on to?
I'm the fish out of water, in that I believe, and I've often believed, that no matter what it is that you're singing, you want to, again, communicate. Lieder singing, melody, it doesn't matter what it is. I look at them as mini operas, tiny operas. They all have an introduction, they have a development, and then they have an end. Now, it happens in 2 pages, 3 pages, 15 pages sometimes, but the idea is to communicate an entire scenario, an entire world that can happen in just a few short moments. And when you can do that, all of a sudden you open up the leader to something that is a lot more than just simply very nice pearl tones with someone being very, very lovely, et cetera, et cetera. I've always been known as a rather gregarious type of singer, because I do things demonstratively. I use my hands, I use my facial expressions. Some people don't like that because they think it's a bit too gauche and too out there, but it's something that I learned when I was in church 100 gazillion years ago, playing piano and organ, because I started playing when I was 3 years old. So in our church, it was a question that when you were singing, you sang. You didn't just sort of mumble. And learning that from 3 is something that I've carried on all these years.
You just have it with you the whole time.
Absolutely.
Well, that was already amazing advice, but do you have any last words of wisdom or advice for the participants this week or the singers going into a competition somewhere?
Have fun. Have fun. Why have fun? Because as serious as this business is, and yes, you've got to have done your homework, made sure that you did all the things you were supposed to do, but still have fun, because if you are communicating that flow of energy, that is a flow that is constantly in movement, then you are able to move people in the audience. Not everyone's going to be moved, but some people will, simply because of the fact that you're not stodgy, sitting, not moving. Keep the music moving. Have fun.
I think that says it all. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your time.
My great pleasure.
And don't forget to join us tonight at 8:15 for a recital by IVC laureate soprano Harriet Burns and pianist Ian Tyndale with their recital A Mother's Garland, exclusively British and American composers. You don't want to miss it.